Okay, this is Saturn, which is one of the most beautiful planets in the solar system. It's also one of the most bulky, but the least dense. It would float on a bath of water if the bath of water big enough could be found. Now I'm zooming out to identify the orbits of all the moons. It is a very big system. There are 60 odd moons. Now, if you could see that from Earth, that would be easily visible. It would be getting on for the size of the moon. Taking it away, Saturn looks really tiny in the distance. That just shows you the contrast between the size of Saturn and the size of its system. Now, it is of course famous for its rings, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Here we go. Right, this is a moon called Pan. It's in the Enca division of the rings. That's one of the gaps in the rings. It's about 23 kilometers across, and it shows you also that the rings are very narrow, because that's Janus. Janus is a shepherd moon, so it keeps the rings in place. So that's Janus keeping the rings in place there. The next one is Mimas. Now Mimas is often called the Death Star because it looks like a Death Star because of the huge crater just there on it. It's the smallest object in the solar system that is spherical, roughly, the smallest natural object of that kind. This is Enceladus. Nice place to spend honeymoons. It's full of water and it may have life on it. Okay, now for the next one will be Tethys. You can see that so far all of the moons have got rather unspectacular views of the rings, apart from Pan. This is Tethys. I find Tethys rather boring. I don't really know what to say about it. So there it is. It's got white streaks on it or something, I don't know. Right, okay. Then we have Titan, which is brilliant. It has an atmosphere, it has oceans of methane. There they are. The black patches of oceans. It has islands, rivers, pebbles. It's very like the Earth, apart from being extremely cold, minus 180 degrees centigrade, and it's covered in a haze, and the atmosphere is denser than the Earth's. Next one, Dione, which I forgot on the way. It's actually further in a bit. Not quite sure about Dione. I don't know what to say about it. I don't know much about it, I'm afraid. But there it is anyway. Okay. And then the next one is Hyperion. Now Hyperion is the largest satellite that isn't spherical. It is also notable for not having a north because it tumbles through space. It doesn't have an axis, it doesn't have a day or a night. It just moves around fairly at random. Okay. Next one is Iapetus. Now Iapetus is dark on one side and light on the other. This is because a lot of stuff from the outer moon, Phoebe, has landed on it and made it dark. Now Iapetus is the last big moon, and the next one out is Phoebe. Now Phoebe is a captured asteroid, or more strictly speaking a captured centaur. It orbits in the opposite direction than all the other moons, and it's given off a lot of ejecta which have landed on Iapetus, as I've said. Phoebe is a long way out compared to the others, although there are moons that are further out than it that have been discovered more recently. Now back to Iapetus. The crucial thing about Iapetus is it is the only moon from which you can see Saturn looking like that, which is very pretty. In all the other moons you can't really see the rings properly, either because you're too close or you're too far away. There's the system around Saturn showing you all the orbits and the complexity and the size of the orbits, which are huge. And finally we see Saturn disappear into the distance.